Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to round number 2 of the SOP IMazda series. That's right, we're here on iRacing. We're here with the wonderful, wondrous Mazda MX-5s at the more than wondrous Laguna Seca. And speaking of wondrous, there's a wondrous leader who's joined us once again in the commentary box. Mr. Simon Bagas here for all of the action. Good evening, Simon.
Hello, hello, good evening. You're too kind to me, John, you are.
You're right, arm.
Yeah, we're here for round number 2, Laguna Seca. If anybody has watched the real life racing of the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series at Laguna Seca, you know it is frantic and it creates some absolutely fantastic racing. So I can't wait to see what happens on the virtual racetrack.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Simon will be doing the vast majority of the commentary. I may have a little touch of the old man flu, but we'll crack on just like the drivers are out on track. 1 minute 36.5, the fastest time at the moment. Toby Proser leading the way. It is one Johnny Bissett in second place, with Ethan Halland currently in third. We've got a few drivers still out on track. One name that will be very familiar, almost skirting the limits there. One that will be very familiar to SOP fans is Mr. Leon Seeley. Just sneaks his way into the top 10. One more lap to go. As you said, Simon, Laguna Seca, it really does. It's a track and a half. It really is just absolutely incredible. Built back late 50s, and it's definitely one that stood the test of time. There's been very little changes to the track over its history, and that's for a very good reason. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's played host to a lot of racing series over the years. Yeah, but it's just one of those tracks that just creates fantastic racing. A 1:36.2 there from Toby in the end to put himself on pole. Just in front, well, I say just in front, he's a whole second ahead of the rest of the field actually. But it is Jonathan Bissett that slots himself into second there, with Ethan Holland in third, just a tenth further behind, with Aaron Gearin a tenth further behind Holland to make up the top four. You've got Kane Dinham, Josh Miller there in fifth and sixth, with Chris Williams and Kieran Clifford in seventh and eighth. All of them pretty much teammates, right, John? So that's going to be a fantastic battle to watch between all of them.
Go Team RTS. I'm not biased, you are.
Yeah, and then rounding out the top 10 is Leon Seeley and Luca Munro joining us on the grid for the first time. Davletov and Head in 11th and 12th. Nirgez and Walsh in 13th and 14th. Ballint and Milkloss in 15th and 16th. And rounding out the rear of the field, you have Simon Thorns, not Simon Baggers because I'm in the commentary box, and then Gavin Love at the rear of the field.
Yeah,
I need to make sure I don't join the grid, so give me 30 seconds and I'll be back with you.
Yep, you do that. I will try and fix. For some reason it's changed the overlays. I do love it when it does that. There we go. Right, we really need to fix this broadcast software. Give me 2 seconds. Right, the drivers will be seeing the green lights very shortly. Let me just see if I can't.
Yeah, they got 10 seconds to grid. And then they will have their countdown, John.
Yep, they will indeed. Yep. So that is the qualifying done. An interesting race last week. It was tight on the fuel. We saw some drivers and me, of course. Oh no, never mind last week. Here we go. We're about to get some green lights for 40 minutes and one man to
green flag,
here.
green flag.
Seca. There is the green flag, and it is a good start. Some tyre smoke way down at the back of the grid, but the top two getting a very good start as we see them coming through turn number 1, although it's the second row of the grid that's got the real start there. Holland and Gearing really looking to put some pressure on. Josh Miller and Dinham swapping positions. Kieran Clifford is tumbling down the order. He's had another bad start. This is 2 weeks on the trot. I know he's been past, so he really didn't go off. I think it might have been him smoking the tyres because he has been overtaken by a few drivers there. Chris Williams looking to take advantage as well. Leon Seeley up a position. Monroe making a debut in the series, up a position as well. But yeah, Kieran Clifford in the Phantom Machine finds himself down 3, and Leon Seeley up 2 off the start. Everyone ahead of him staying in exactly the starting position. You can see some phenomenal forward-wide action going on in the background. Let's get on to the front of Simon Thorns there as we head on to the Rahal straight under the world famous Reds. Making sure the green volume isn't too loud. Oh, that maybe is a bit actually. So we'll put that there and put that there. Oh, and it's a good opening lap so far for most of the field. Toby Poser doing exactly what he needs to do. He's held on to that lead, and in fact he's got a gap, that 1 second in qualifying that he had. It certainly looks to be a lot more in the start of the race. Bissett doing his best to hang on, and he is the best of the rest at the minute. The rest of them are bunched up pretty closely there. Holland Gearing third and fourth, and Kane the Shark Dinham, as he shall now be known. He does like to start in fifth and get himself up onto the podium, just lurking there in the background as he did last week. He's got teammate Josh Dr. Nailbender. I'm delighted that he's in this week, if for no reason other than to show that phenomenal livery with the shark teeth on the side.
Yes, yeah.
That's a good livery.
Yeah, he's motoring on. He hasn't disconnected so far, so he's still in this race in 6th place. Maybe Kieran Clifford just didn't want to get caught out on that opening lap like he did last week as well. So, well, he's tumbling down the order even more actually, John. I wonder what's gone on there. It hasn't been the best start to the series for Mr. Clifford. He's now at the rear of the field. Was he involved in an incident? Let's have a look at this replay. Oh! Not sure if he did get tagged there or if he just lost the rear, John.
I think he just lost the rear. It doesn't mention any contact in the telemetry. All it says was Kieran Clifford went off track. Oh, Josh Miller's had an off track. He's lost the back of the car as well, I think. Oh no, so he's just run a bit wide there through turn number 4. That is all the invitation that Leon Seeley's going to need to put him under all kinds of pressure into turn number 5. So minor off track there for Doc. He does hold on to the position. To go back to the live shots and see what's going on. That should be on that camera, but there we go. So the top 6 still as you were. Leon Seeley has made it up 2 places at the start. One of those at the expense of Chris Williams. Of course, Chris didn't really quite get the fuel strategy right last week, and had to take an extra pit stop, which cost him a podium to teammate Dinham. Behind him, good battle going on with Lucky Monroe and Gary Davletov. Davletov having a good race as well last week, Simon, and he's looking to continue that trend this week. Already gained a position in the opening couple of laps.
Yes, we do have a few rookies in this series who are definitely showing their hand early. Oh, Davletov's lost the rear of that one as well. Do you know what I think it is, John? The rear end in these Mazda MX-5s on the fixed setup seems to be very, very loose, and if you apply too much brake pressure, the rear just wants to step out and spin around, and I think that's what's catching a few drivers out around here, to be honest. That was from my experience of racing the fixed setup around here anyway. You've got to be really careful on those brakes, otherwise, yeah, you're going to be catching yourself out. It's catching a few people out already. And Laguna Seca is one of those tracks that sort of invites you to. You've got to be really careful anyway, otherwise you're going to be into the desert, right, and off the racing surface. So, yeah, as Seeley moves up 2 spots from his starting position, and Davletov is going to be falling down the grid now in 11th.
Yes, yeah, and coming under some pretty serious pressures. We can hear him absolutely rev the limits of the car down through the corkscrew. Great battle going on behind him at the minute for 12th and 13th, Berlin in the Erds. Oh, he's going full sideways. He's managed to just about keep that one between the mayo and the mustard there. Phenomenal handling of the car. Great fun these cars are. It really is going to be an absolute risk breaker for the drivers this week. As we've got, this is still Davletov that we're on board with. We can see Valentin Ayers behind him. Dan Head not too far behind. He has dropped 2 positions. Gavin Love up 4 places on his qualifying start. So a good start for Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin actually didn't set a qualifying time, so he started at the rear of the field.
Right.
He had some problems in qualifying, but yeah, he's been the beneficiary so far of 4 drivers making mistakes. Just to touch on the fuel, obviously round 1 they only had 25% maximum capacity in the tanks, which got them around to the 20 lap mark. Today they've got 55% maximum fuel capacity, which should get them around 18 laps. It's predicted to be around a 30 lap race, so there's going to be a window of around 5 laps where we should see all the drivers pitting.
Yeah, a much wider pit window for the drivers this week. A few of them got marginally caught out, and I tell you what, is that Kane Dinham chasing down Ethan Holland. It is, he's getting very close there indeed, and in fact Gearing and Holland have swapped places.
Oh, who's that into the barriers? I think that was Dinham, or it might have been Josh Miller. It was a silver car into the barriers. Was there contact with Steely? Oh no, there was.
Oh wow. Oh, I think he's only saving grace there as he's right outside the pit stop. That is an absolute savage amount of damage. I'm not even sure the car's going to be moving now. Well, if it is, he's going to have to wait on quite a few cars. Yeah, he's made it back into the pit lane. But yeah, a bit of contact there. Sees Doc on the way rounding into the wall. Seeley then up into 6th position. Lucky Monroe up 3 as well. There is Miller pulling into pits with an absolutely forlorn car. Took a tap in the rear and a face full of wall. Oh, and I think he's missed his pit box there as well to add insult to the injury. Aaron Gearing though, he is gearing himself up for a podium improvement if he can. He's got himself past Holland, who's now under serious pressure from Kane Dinham. Leon Seeley a few seconds down on this battle. Toby Proser completely oblivious to everything that's going on. There is Visit. He is being willfully chased, as I say. Gearing definitely on for a good start to the race. Hopefully Josh can get back out, get that car. There's quite a bit of damage there. Kieran Clifford's made it back too from his little spin in turn number 1. Walsh up 5, Ballant up 4 as well. Into the last corner. Good use of the curbs there by Visit, but it is an almost slightly better use by Gearing. As you can see, he's getting closer. The slipstream in these cars, Simon, is pretty impressive, and it looks like Gearing is using it absolutely perfectly at the minute.
Yeah, the slipstream does have a mighty effect in these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars. Obviously not as dramatic as we would have seen at round 1, because obviously Virginia International Raceway has those 2 very long straights, which saw, well, it was basically a 5-way battle for the lead until the pit stops, right? So that was fantastic to watch, but the drivers don't have that luxury here, as yeah, Gearing is right on the bumper of Bissett. Both of these having a fantastic showing, but they are, because they are battling, they're dropping well behind Prosser, who's just away and gone. 4.5 seconds now up the field. Obviously Toby is a man of many talents. He finished second in our NASCAR Cup Series, taking a number of victories, and he also won our Bristol Dirt event, our one-off race a couple of weeks ago. So he's very handy behind a NASCAR, and he's shown himself to be very handy behind the Mazda MX-5 Cup car as well, because he's 5 seconds ahead on lap number 6. So looks like he's a shoe-in for the race victory, but we're going to have a mighty battle for those final podium positions, as Bissett right now is holding on pretty well against Gearing, to be fair. We'll see if he's got a defensive masterclass beneath him to hold off Gearing, as Holland is there in 4th with Dinham in 5th and Seeley in 6th. I mean, you'd probably say any of these drivers still inside the top 10 could potentially find themselves on the podium if things don't go offensive masterclass beneath him to hold off Gearing, as Holland.
Yeah, they are still well bunched up at the moment, and as we saw last week, one minor miscalculation in your pit stops and positions will be lost. And of course, a couple of drivers last week getting stop-go penalties on their way into the pits. I tell you what, Simon, this defensive masterclass from Bissett, it's going to have to be, because Gearing is using those corner exits. He's got side-by-side through turn number 5. Is he going for an outrageous cutback on the Rahal straight? Not quite got enough momentum. He's certainly looking for the manoeuvre, and I tell you what, Dinham has passed Holland. I've missed the overtake there. Dinham's got himself past Holland. So that is Dinham up a position. Let me see. Yeah, let's have a look at that overtake. Oh, and it's the back of the car again, Simon. Into turn 2, sorry, the Andretti hairpin. And like you say, in the fixed setup, the back of the car is not the most settled. And it's going from bad to worse for Holland, because he's now got Leon Seeley hunting him down.
Yeah, we'll see what Seeley can do. Maybe he can benefit from Holland's mistake as well. He's right on the back bumper, just 2/10 separating those two. 1/10 only separating Bissett and Gearing. We got some fantastic battles going on here inside the top 10. Unfortunately, it looks like all those outside the top 10 just haven't quite got the pace. There's some 10 seconds adrift of everybody else inside the top 10 there, and I believe all those outside of the top 10 will include all of our rookies, but yeah, still a strong showing nonetheless, as Seeley does get the move done into turn number 1. Will he be able to hold on to that position through turn 3, 4 and 5? We'll soon see, as Holland kicks up some of the dust there, as Seeley mounts the sausage curb, but it's still the status quo. So Seeley now trying to hunt down Kane Dinham, as Dinham moves up to another place just outside the podium. Will we see him back on the podium before the end of this one?
Indeed, yeah, it'll be interesting to see again the fuel strategy and when the drivers choose to come in. Toby Proser absolutely checking out in the front of the field. He's now 7 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Bissett and gearing are absolutely bumper to bumper. There is nothing separating them at the moment as we come down through the corks, through the defensive masterclass, certainly coming from Bizet at the moment.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a fantastic race here for the other spots outside the leader. I think we're going to have a five-way battle for the final podium positions. You've got second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth, all in close company, and the more Johnny Bishop holds off Gearin, the rest of the pack behind are going to be closing up, as Gearin looks like he's going to try and make a move up the inside into turn one now. They cross the line side by side. It's going to be fantastic. Will Johnny be able to hold it right round the outside, or will he think better of it and try and move back up the inside, the switch back? Will he get it done? Doesn't look like he will, but he's going to have the momentum coming through turn number one. Gearin's going to defend for all his life here. He looked like he had possibly a slight pace advantage over Johnny there in those final few laps, but he was just very, very patient sitting behind him. We'll see if Johnny can attack him right back now. He's looking very, very close here, John.
Yeah, he is indeed. Yeah, Johnny was looking for the cutback into the Andretti hairpin, of course, which is turn two, Simon. Sorry, turn one is the little kink to the left just after the start-finish straight. After the start-finish line, yep. Because you got me confused for a second, sorry. But, oh, never mind that. Oh, I tell you what, we're talking about the defensive masterclass from Bizet on gearing. He's now going to put one on against his teammate Kane, who comes at podium dinner. Oh, phenomenal camera there as they fly across the curves of the corkscrew. Of course, Denham is going to be willfully hurried along by one Leon Seeley. He's made up a few places so far. There's a bit of contact as well, but I'm going for a turn 9. Or is he?
Yeah, this is it. This is the five-way battle we talked about. Bissett did his best to defend from Gearin, but Gearin finally got through. But what that did was allowed everybody else to close right up as Seeley gets a move done on the final corner of lap number 9. Yeah, they're on lap number 10 now. So he gets that move done before entering the start-finish line as he moves up into 4th place. Will he be able to close down on Gearin and Bissett as Dinham now is trying to defend from Holland? This is a fantastic fight we've got here from the top 6. I say the top 6, second through to 6th, because Prosser is moving on to 10 seconds clear from the rest of the pack as Seeley gets it wide onto the desert dirt there, but he does hold on to that 4th place position for now.
He does indeed, yeah. Holland definitely still in the hunt. We've got somebody coming in the pits. No. Kieran Clifford is on another recovery drive, week 2. Take 2, he's made back 6 places so far. Back up to 12th place, so he's had a few overtakes so far.
Yeah, I think for pit stops we should start seeing people coming in from maybe lap 15 or 16 through to maybe lap 20 to 22, I think. That's going to be the pit window for everybody. It depends how hard they are pushing it. What is the fastest lap of the race so far? That will help me determine where everybody's going to be cycling in. Because obviously the slower the lap time, the longer they'll be able to stay out, because their fuel will not be burning as much as
157.2 for Cody Crozer. The rest of the field are in the high 38s, low 39s.
Okay, fair enough. Well, 38, 39s, yeah, so they'll probably be able to stretch it to 20 full laps, or maybe 21 laps with their fuel, with the way they're going.
Yeah, for some reason it's not showing the best time. There we go, sorry, 136.6 is the fastest lap that we've seen so far.
Oh wow, okay, so Toby is definitely motoring. He might only be able to get to 18 or 19 laps on his fuel tank then before he needs to come into the pit, so his pit window is going to be even shorter than the rest.
Yeah, Luca Monroe making his debut in the series. He was in the LMP2s the last time he was racing here at SOP, up 5 positions. 3 spots. He is up one of them at the expense of Chris Williams, a potential podium protagonist last time out. Didn't quite get the fuel right, ended up having a second stop, cost him a couple of spots. He'll be looking to right that next week. He's got Walsh behind him, who's on a bit of a charge as well. He's up 5 on his start. Davletov has recovered from his mistake and finds himself back up to 10th position, just ahead of Darren Hedge, who's now under serious pressure from Kieran Love's a comeback. Clifford, he's got 12th place at the moment. Oh, Josh Miller is in a crash, so is Simon Thomas. I think Miller is struggling with the damage after taking a tap in the rear and getting sent into the wall.
Well, they do have the fast repairs, John, don't forget, so all the damage would be repaired with their fast repairs, but I think it's just the rear end again, just catching them out there, John.
Yeah, exactly, it was, yep. Yep, exactly it was. This is Simon Thorns as well, having himself a bit of an incident, and again... Okay, so there was an incident up ahead and Thorns was just taking avoiding action there. That was
a little incident.
Indeed, yeah, that was Miklos. Simon Thorns did survive. Gavin Love was the other car involved there as well, so they're going to have a bit of damage to get repaired when they come into the pits. In fact, 2 of them have, Thorns and Miklos, both coming into the pits. Back with the live action is Kieran Clifford looking for an overtake, looking to get himself back towards the top 10, gets a good exit out with turn number 4, and he's going to take, in fact he's going to have his, oh no, he's not going to have the car in front of the turn number 5, he's going to hang around the outside. A little bit of instability on the way into the braking zone, they're not able to get the foot planted on the corner exit, so towards the corkscrew. It's still going to be Darren ahead, really monstering into those curves there. Toby Proza now 12 seconds in the lead, gearing, looking under pressure. Johnny Bissett with a great view of the battle that's going on just ahead of him. No, we want the giant car or static.
Oh, look at this battle, here we go. This is a fantastic battle here for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Leon Seeley looks to get the move done up the inside. He's got lap traffic coming out of the pits as well, so he's got that to deal with. He is on the inside line. Gearing seems to hold on, but he's under pressure from Johnny, with Holland just behind as well. This is going to be turning into, like we said, all race, a fantastic battle for the final podium positions. The Mazda's bouncing over those sausage curves as Seeley leads him through for lap number 13. Pross is still out there, 13 seconds ahead, as we've got 4 cars here now battling over 2nd place. Seeley now moves up 7 positions to take that 2nd place spot. We'll see if he's got the pace to hunt down Prosser. That's going to be an interesting one. I think Seeley, where did he start then? He started in 8th place, if he's moved up 7. So, 9th.
Yeah.
9th, there we go.
Up to 2nd, yeah.
Didn't nail qualifying, but he's definitely got the race pace here in the Mazda MX-5s. Gearing all over that rear bumper. And you have to say, from all these drivers up front, it's been very, very clean racing. It's been fantastic to watch this race.
Yeah, it really has. More battles. The battle is still absolutely underway. I mean, this is just an all-out 40-minute war these drivers are going to be entrenched in.
I'm surprised to see that actually Kane Dinham popped into the pits that last lap on lap number 13. So he's going to go for 17 laps or so on the next stint here. We'll see if he can hold on. We'll see if that extra fuel he's got to take on board works in his advantage. As Holland and Davletov are the next 2 to come into the pits.
Oh, yeah, and more drivers flooding. I was going to say Darren Head's been putting up a fairly stout defensive display, but he's come into the pits as well.
I'm surprised to see so many in so early, actually, John. Lap number 13, lap number 14. The fuel tank should be able to go to 17, 18, 19 laps at least, so maybe they're trying something different. Again, something that's going to take into effect is whether these drivers decide to take any tyres at all. You can take 1 tyre, 2 tyres, lefts, rights, fronts or backs. I mean, Toby's well and truly gone 15 seconds up the lead. I don't think it matters what he does, he's going to come out in the lead of the race. But the battle for 2nd place is on, and I think it's going to be decided in the pit stops like it was last week.
Yeah, I think it is. Oh, this battle here is going to be decided on track though by the look of it. We've got... Oh, and that's Williams. It is... Oh no, so they've got a lap traffic in there as well. Yeah, Williams up to 5th position while everyone's in and out in the pit, so there is a bit of lap traffic in this top battle. So this is a three-way battle. Seeley, Gearing and Bizzett for the final 2 podium positions. Toby Proser only 2/10 slower than his fastest lap of the race so far. As the car lightens, those laps could well get a bit quicker. Seeley absolutely lightning, and in fact, yeah, Bizzett with a good time there as well. So Gearing, Sam is in the middle, actually slowest out of those three. Walsh comes in to the pits as well. There he is, stationary. That puts Clifford up at 1 position on his start. Kane Dinham in and out of the pits. So a nice quick turnaround there. Holland came in and out of the pits as well. You can see Holland is just ahead of him. So these two, yeah, looking for the Uber undercut. We'll see how it plays for them. Toby Proser still 15 seconds ahead. So that 1 second, 1 second gap he had in qualifying, that's exactly the gap he's averaging. He's 15 seconds ahead after... Oh, look at how close those three are, Sam. It's hard to follow a thought process when you've got these three absolutely on top of one another. And Gearing might have been overtaken by Seeley, but he is definitely not giving up the ghost on this.
Yeah, it seems to be that Seeley was faster when he was attacking, and he's now gone into, well, seemingly a defensive mindset, trying to hold off Gearing, and he just seems to have lost a little bit of pace because of it, because Gearing's pressure from behind. But what that is allowing Bizzett to do is stay onto the back of this battle as well, and so we've got a three-way fight for the final 2 podium positions as it stands. We'll see where Dinham and Holland find themselves once the pit cycles come through, as Chris Williams comes into the pits from 5th place then. Clifford up to 6th. I think Clifford still needs to make his pit stop as well, right?
Yes, he does.
So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where Holland and Dinham come out. They're 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds separate those two, and we know those two were fighting for a podium position. So it's going to be very, very interesting when these top 5, I say top 5, again, Toby Prosser away and gone, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, we'll see where they come into the pits. And I'm surprised actually that Gearing or Johnny hasn't decided to come into the pits and rather stay behind Seeley, who might be slowing them down.
Yeah, definitely, with having a much wider pit window this time around, they've certainly got the option. Is it? Turn number 6 there. The Mazda suspension really is forgiving. We saw Gearing make a bit of a mistake out in the last corner. Fell back into Bizzett's clutches. He's managed to break away. Bizzett clobbering that sausage curve. We can now see that battle just moving slightly away from him. Kieran Clifford is out. Oops, wrong button. There he is. Up in net 3 places, but as we can see, like the drivers ahead of him, still got to take their pit stop. Out the drivers that have taken their pit stop is Ethan Holland leading the way, with Kane Dinham well and truly in the 16th. Luke Monroe in 3rd place, and there is Chris Williams back out of the pit and ahead of Walsh and Davletov. Darren Head back out as well. Now that was where Clifford, of course, was directly behind Darren, so we'll see where he comes back out of the pits. You know, Gavin Love, he's taken his pit stop. He's still up in net 4 places, despite taking some contact and some sideways action. Josh Miller still running as well. Again, took contact in the rear, found himself into the pits, into the wall, sorry, with a lot of damage. Got that repaired. He is back out and running. He's already had 2 stops, so a long way for him to go to the end of the race. That is Gavin Love just getting himself out of the way for the podium battle there. I would say the lead battle, but there is no battle. Toby Proser battling with himself, quite frankly. That is the only thing that's going on there. This is still absolutely sterling stuff from these 3 from the final podium positions. Oh, look at them, those crashed.
Uh-oh.
He was, oh my goodness me, Simon. It's the Andretti hairpin, it's the back of the car, it's deja vu.
Yeah, that is the story of the day in these little nimble Mazda MX-5s. It's catching everybody out at least once as Bissett decides to bail. He is pitting there from 4th place. He's going to think better of it, maybe because he had that little off-track excursion on the last lap. Maybe it's time to come into the pits and just reset himself rather than trying to hunt down and stay on the back of these two who are battling over 2nd and 3rd. Maybe he will come out of the pits in that clean air. Maybe he will rejoin with Holland and Dinham and resume that battle, which could be for the final podium spots. We'll see what happens as Seeley is up 7, Gearing is up 1. I think actually, apart from Seeley, Gearing and Clifford, oh there we go, speaking of the man, he is in the pits himself. That means we just have the top 3 left to come in for their pit stop by the looks of it.
Indeed, yeah. There is the Phantom Machine pulling up into his pit stop. Johnny Bissett already on his way out of the pits, of course. He's going to come back out now. Where is... Oh, so Dinham is ahead of him. Dinham and Holland are ahead, and that's quite the gap they've got. So the undercut is huge. Wow. So if he comes out, if he's come out there, Simon, and Seeley and Gearing were only just ahead of him when they come into the pits. If I'm Seeley and Gearing, I'm throwing myself into the pits right this very second, because if you do the basic maths, Holland and Dinham are ahead of them both when they come out the pits, surely, because they're ahead of Johnny Bissett.
Yeah, they are ahead of Johnny Bissett. They're 5 seconds up the road. So yeah, they've definitely made it work coming into the pits early, getting themselves that clean air. And they're just running those laps, nice clean laps by themselves, not having to worry about battling for places, not having to be slowed down by anybody. You're right, Holland and Dinham, once these pit cycles come through, could find themselves in those podium places, because Seeley and Gearing have been going at it for several laps now, as Seeley once again is having to defend for all his life from Gearing. He's looking like he's got a major run coming through here. Is he going to stick it up the inside, or is he going to stay on that rear bumper? He thinks better of it this time around. It looks like he's just trying to force an error there from Seeley, waiting patiently once again like he did for Mr. Jonathan Bissett, who held 2nd place early on in this race.
Indeed, yeah, could be waiting a long time though before you see Leon Seeley make a mistake.
Yeah, that's it. It could be the downfall of both of these drivers missing out on the podium positions.
Yeah, it really could. It really could. At the moment then, it is Toby Proser, race leader, into the pits. Some of the lap traffic unlapping themselves. These two out of the corkscrew. Will they come into the pits? And Gearing says enough is enough. We've got 9 minutes to go. I'm coming into the pits.
Yeah, I think this could actually also be Leon Seeley's final lap on the track before he pits. Moves on to complete another lap. He's now got clear track in front of him, clear track behind him. But will it be enough to hold on to a podium position? We'll see what happens now. Prosser is definitely going to come out. I'm supposing he's still going to come out in the lead, because Gearing's in behind him. We know Seeley's got to pit. Where is Holland? Where is Dinham? They're coming through the final corner now. Keep an eye on the pit exit. This is going to be mighty close.
Yes, it is. There is Gearing on his way out of the pit, and there is Holland through turn number 1. Oh wow, so Gearing's going to... Oh, it's going to be so close. Wow, so they've not cost themselves as much time, but I wonder if Bissett maybe changed a couple of tyres to get a bit more grip towards the end of the race.
Yeah, that's potentially something as well. You know, Gearing could have just decided to come to the pits without any tyre changes. Obviously the later stop means he's taking on less fuel as well, so you've got to take that into account.
Right, yeah.
the fact that Holland and Dinham pitted so early, they would have had a longer pit stop, taking on more fuel to get them to the end of the race. So Gearing might be in the clear here. We'll see what Seeley can do.
Indeed, yeah, Seeley does come in to the pits. Unsurprisingly, he will be almost out of fuel as he pulls in, so that'll give Toby Proser the lead once again as he heads towards the final corner. Gearing currently in second place, Holland, Gearing in third, sorry, at the moment, Holland in fourth, then it's Dinham, Bizzett, Monroe in seventh place, Chris Williams down one net position, eighth place at the moment with Walsh and Davletov rounding out the top 10. Kieran Clifford, 7 places he's made back overall. He's back out the pits. He did get back out ahead of Darren Head, so he is now on a charge to catch up to Davletov. Naerge and Ballot 13th and 14th. Josh Miller unlapping himself.
Yeah, I wonder why Clifford always has these bad starts at the beginning of these races, because qualifying goes rather well, but then those lap ones have just not been good for him.
Yeah, they really haven't. He is. Oh, now Leon Seeley out of the pit exit, and he has come out just ahead once again, Simon.
Oh wow!
Second,
you know what I
think?
Yeah. Do you know what I think has saved Seeley and Gearing there is the low fuel that they need to put into the car. Their pit stop times would be substantially less, and obviously even more for Seeley because he went the longest distance in the race. So yeah, that I guess where I thought it wasn't going to work out to their advantage because I thought they were holding each other up, it's actually played into their advantage because they've taken on the least amount of fuel, and the gap that they've had between these top 6 drivers has actually grown. So yeah, a couple of tenths separate Seeley and Gearing. I am sure he's going to close up to the back bumper of Seeley before the end of this one. We've been nattering on for so long. There's only 5 minutes left of this race actually, which is crazy to think about. It's gone by really fast.
It really has, it really has. Just on the fuel thing, Simon, I was going to say, I think the drivers do need to take on just the same amount to get to the end because they start with the same, because Kane Dinham actually had the shortest pit stop out of the whole field by a considerable margin. His pit stop was under 15 seconds, everyone else was just over 60.
I mean, okay, I guess the only other argument to that is he would have been carrying the most amount of fuel for the longest time. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the average weight of the car is kind of what slowed them down ever so slightly, but an absolute lightning stop.
Oh, who's that round? Who is that
Simon
round?
Thorns. And I think we can predict the back end letting go into the Andretti hairpin.
Yes, that is probably what happened.
And
don't forget, you can actually see it there that visually the outside line of that racetrack is dirty and dusty as well, so those tyres are getting scrubbed up with the dust and sand from Laguna Seca, and yeah, that just also didn't help in slowing down the car and spinning him round there.
No, certainly did not. Williams 8th place, he went on cruising on past there. Toby Proser 22 laps into the race got a 19-second gap, a gap that Leon Seeley can only dream of at the moment because Aaron Gearing is not letting go. These two separated by 3/10 of a second still. Couldn't be separated by the pit stops, and in fact there was only 0.04 of a second between their pit stops time, with Seeley clocking a faster pit stop time by 0.04 of a second. Oh, now here we go out the last corner. It's not a good exit by Leon Seeley. They're going to cross the start finish line absolutely side by side through turn number 1. It's going to be Gearing on the outside line. He doesn't want to be on that dusty stuff though, but he might have to be. Is he going to look for a cut back here? Both drivers putting the back end right out of the car and up the inside line. What a switchback move that is. Seeley with 2 wheels on the gravel into turn number 3 though. Is it all going to be about Seeley on the inside line, or is it going to be more momentum on the outside line for Gearing? Gearing has got his nose ahead, Leon Seeley's got his nose ahead into turn number 4. They're bumper to bumper on the exit. It's another cutback by Gearing into turn number 5, Simon. This one is going to continue. Incredible stuff from both of them.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic to watch in these closing laps. 3 minutes left on the clock. They're side by side once again coming through here. Seely's probably going to have to let this position go. He does. He thinks better of it. He knows he's going to get hung up to dry on the outside there as those cars wash out right to the edge of the racetrack. And Gearin finally back up into second place. He's had to battle his way up to this second place position on the podium several times during this race. Obviously Bissett held it for a little while, Seely there held it for a very long period, but he does finally find his way back up to second place. Prosser there in the lead, 22 seconds, not quite that big of a gap really, is it, John?
Yeah, I think ultimate domination springs to mind.
Yes.
But yeah, Seely does get overtaken. Holland can see the battle ahead. Will he catch up? Denham, he started in 5th and he has stayed in 5th. Good race for him so far. Bissett down 4 places on the start. Not been a great race for him. Phenomenal qualifying, but just doesn't quite have the race pace. Or doesn't so far. There's only a minute and a half left to go. Where does 40 minutes go? Davletov's just had an off-track excursion, so too has Jay Walsh. Kieran Clifford. That is Darren Head. Just looking at the gap there, yeah, he's got a big gap to make up ahead of him. The rest of the drivers down the field there is Miklos. Josh Miller making his way through some traffic as well, down 11 places on the start, started up in 6th place, then found himself into the wall. They really do rev that engine down through the corks, through the car. Yeah, at points he's only got, what, 2 wheels touching the ground maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be one more lap for Toby Prosser as he crosses the line here, coming around the final turn. He's going to have one more lap of Laguna Seca to negotiate. There we go, that's what I mean. Seely's good at attacking, but he seems to just be not able to pull away from Gearin. Been a fantastic battle to watch all race, I have to say.
Oh yeah, from a spectator's point of view, absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure I would be too keen to be either of these drivers. Yeah, look at Seely on the way into the corkscrew. What a move that is. Although Gearing, no slouch on the way out of there, really putting the pressure on as soon as they hit that corner exit. It's absolutely bumper to bumper. As we join the live action, they are bumper to bumper into turn number 1. Is he going to think about it into Andretti hairpin? He ended up on the outside line on the previous lap, and it's going to be the same. Is this going to be another lap full of cutbacks? Oh no, Seely with a very good run through at turn number 2. And I tell you, Holland, he won't be too disappointed to see these two battling. Could he see himself sneaking a cheeky position right at the end if these two can't settle their affairs? Tony Proser will remain unbothered up at the front of the field. It's been an absolutely flawless race for Proser. As you said, Simon, he's done well in NASCAR. He's not too bad in the MX-5 either, it's safe to say. Oh, here we go again. Oh wow, these two absolutely going at it. Oh, and he's sent it up the inside again. He knows exactly where to position the car. And he's picked himself up a cheeky wee 1X there. Oh, Davletov's had a crash later on in the race. And I think this is going to be the checkered flag. Toby Proser took pole position by a second, and he's won the race by a 23-second margin. Congratulations, Mr. Proser. That is a flawless race from start to finish. Let's see. Oh, and he's got back ahead. Gearing has got back ahead. I can get a replay of that at the end, but it's going to be Gearing that gets back up to second place. What?
Or is it? Or is it?
Yeah, he is, yeah, he's going to get it. Seely is going to be so close at the end though. That is incredible. We can actually have a look. And where did I see? There we go, Gearing. Oh yeah, so of course that was the move again. Same line.
Yes, it was. Yes. We saw that, John. We saw that.
Yes, we did see that. My apologies. But yeah, Seely in 3rd. Holland with a well-deserved 4th there. Kane Denham bringing it home in 5th position. Luca Monroe with a great race, up 4 places to finish in 6th. Chris Williams finishing where he started, much like teammate Denham there in 7th position. Johnny Bissett losing 6 places in the race with Jay Walsh in 9th. Kieran Clifford crosses the line down 2 overall. So again, makes almost double figures worth overtakes, but just finds himself rounding out the top 10 after a difficult opening lap. Darren Head is going to take the checkered flag for 11th. Davletov in 12th place, only down 1 despite a difficult race. Nairge comes round the last corner, will be one of the last drivers to take the checkered flag, as Love, Berlin, Miklos, Miller and Thorns all behind have already taken their checkered flags. So yeah, quite the race that was for quite a few drivers, as Toby Proser peels into the pits to take the victory, Simon. Absolutely flawless from Proser, while the rest of the field went absolutely at it, hammer and tong. I mean, that battle from 2nd through to 6th to decide those final 2 podium positions, Simon, it's the stuff dreams are made of from a broadcast point of view.
It is. I mean, I hope that we see Aidan Carter and Chris Savert return for round 3 and they can do battle with Toby Prosser for the victory, because we saw how frantic that battle was at round number 1 between Carter and Savert, until Savert had that issue in the pit stops, and then yeah, Carter was able to get away with the victory there. I think those 3 with Toby involved as well will be a fantastic battle to watch. And then yeah, the rest of the field, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic championship to see who comes out best of the rest, because every single race we're seeing 5, 6, 7 cars to battle for those final podium spots, or those top 5 spots, and it's just creating some fantastic action on track.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Big thank you to everyone in the chat, by the way. Everything's flown by. What Marcus Juiceman, Mr. Gearing in the chat. That was fun as it. Yep. It certainly looked it. There is the final result. So confirmation at round number 2. For some reason the name's disappeared again, but from round number 2 is Proser, Gearing and Holland on the podium. Denham in 4th, Luca Monroe in 5th, Williams in 6th, Bissett, Walsh, Seeley and... What?
Why has Seeley dropped down? Maybe he had a penalty in the race, did he?
I don't know.
And we'll find out the proper results when I get them off the iRacing platform.
Yep, I'm not sure what's going on there.
That was Laguna Seca, John.
That was indeed Laguna Seca, as you would expect. Bear with me a second, I'll just pop that in there. And we have got... another cracking track next week. It's certainly not one that I enjoy driving, but as far as the spectating goes, it's not too bad, Simon. We've got Oulton Park next week for the drivers to contend with.
Yeah, do you know what? I might fancy my chances at competing in that one. I've done a few GT4 races at Oulton Park. I do like those British venues. Again, it's just going to be like round 1 and round 2. There's literally no runoff space whatsoever. It's one of those tight and twisty tracks that, well, you even really struggle to have any space to overtake on. So I think we're going to see some fantastic bumper to bumper action once again.
Indeed we are, yeah. And those results are completely goosed, so we'll put this back up. But yeah, another tight twisty track, as you say, Simon. And yeah, so many stories to follow. We'll see a couple of drivers returning. We'll see if
I can tell you why Leon Seeley was bumped down to 9th place on that final lap. Those final 2 corners where we saw him go wide, he actually went over the incident point limit of 18, picking up that track limit. So he got himself a 30-second penalty.
Oh wow, so that is the official results.
That is the official results, yes.
Right, well there we go. Moral of the story, kids, keep it clean on the track.
Yeah, he's finished on 19 points and 18 was the threshold before you pick up a 30-second penalty.
Well, so there we go. It's only actually showing the top 10 for some reason now. Everything's broken this week, Simon. There we go. And there's the bottom half of the grid. So yeah, After all that battling, it is... yeah, so it's Ethan Holland promoted to the podium then. Congratulations, Ethan. Yeah, after a great battle then. So Ethan up to 3rd, Denham in 4th, and Luca Monroe in 5th place. Williams and Bizzett, Jay Walsh also all promoted.
Race control scoring has ended.
And Kieran Clifford only a couple of seconds away from getting promoted as well. Tell ya, racing can be a cruel, cruel mistress. That is for absolutely sure. But that is... why has that done that? Yeah, it's really not working this week, Simon, so let us just... Well, let's just crack on. We've got next week coming up, as you say, Oulton Park, which should be a good one, and we'll be back here live on the YouTube channel next week again, with hopefully you behind the wheel.
Maybe. We will be, yeah, we will be. It'll be a good one. Watch me crash. Tune in to watch me crash, yeah.
Yep. As long as it's not the same as Spa. That was a fun one. Yeah, Luca, yeah, so Leon Seeley went over the 18 points right at the end of the race, and that found him given a 30-second penalty, demoted to 9th place. That's how close the field was. There is Prozer crossing the line. So yeah, everyone got promoted a position. But yeah, thank you to everyone that has tuned in today. What a race that was. Absolutely incredible stuff. We'll be back next week, as Simon said, with Oulton Park. Absolutely cannot wait for that one. We'll look forward to seeing you there. And thanks to everyone that has been subscribing on the YouTube channel as well. Welcome into the SOP community. You can sign up for all the events on the SimGrid host page and get the link to the Discord channel and get yourself involved. There's still spaces, I believe, in the championship, so get yourself signed up. Oh, but that is all we've got time for this week. Thank you once again to everyone, and of course big thank you and a good night from our amazing founding father, Mr. Simon Baggas.
Yes, good night from me, good night from me. Thank you, John, once again. It's been a pleasure being in the commentary box with you.
Yeah, pleasure all mine, Simon. And we will see you all again next week for Oulton Park round number 3. If it's anything like this race, you absolutely do not want to miss it. We'll see you then. Until then, take it easy, stay safe, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.